29 career wins for Lima, 19 career wins for Macdonald.
You see, everything is very similar except for that reach. Douglas Lima is 5 inches shorter in the reach than Rory Macdonald. That's a big advantage for Rory.
And Rory Macdonald loves to utilize the jab. With the official introductions, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Forum in Inglewood, California, Bellator MMA, presented by Miller Lite, is now set for tonight's first of our double main event, 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Welterweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner John Carvelli, Chair, Executive Officer at Cage Side, Mr. Andy Foster. And now, live on Paramount Network, we introduce the blue corner first. At 6 foot, weighing in 169.3 pounds, he enters tonight's world title fight with 19 professional victories, 4 defeats. Hailing from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, introducing the challenger, Rory the Red King Macdonald. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 169 pounds even. His professional record, 29 victories, 6 defeats, fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia. He hails from Goiânia, Goiás, Brazil. Introducing the defending Bellator welterweight world champion, Douglas Lima. In charge of the action, your referee, Jason Herzog.
Fighters gone over the rules in the back. There were no questions from you, Blue. No questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come on, ready to fight.
Douglas Lima, #1 all-time inside the Bellator cage with 8 knockouts.
I cannot wait for this fight.
It's about to happen.
Are you ready?
Macdonald, Lima, here we go! Tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. Blue gloves for the challenger, red gloves for the champion.
Very impressive what you're seeing from Rory, establishing that distance right away, forcing Douglas Lima towards the fence. That's a big tell right there.
The chance of Rory. Got some Canadian fans in the house here inside the fabulous Forum. Rory Macdonald, the last man to beat Tyron Woodley. Let's see what the fans are thinking about this one. And just like you said, they are ready. Head kick.
Right now, Rory Macdonald is doing exactly what he wants to do. He wants to come out, establish that distance, establish his jab, establish that he's the dominant fighter.
He said to us more than once, John, the formula is clear. I have a clear path to gaining the belt, and he felt that same way in his fight against Paul Daly.
Well, if you're watching him right now, just look at his body language. He's loose, he's relaxed, he's calm. This is what you want to be when you're in that cage. It's hard to do, but he has the experience now to make that happen.
Lima trying to circle out of danger here. Second career title fight, as we mentioned, for Macdonald.
Roy did a good job of closing distance, went for a single leg, brought it up to where now he's got got a 50-50 position. It's even for both fighters, even though Lima's back is against the cage.
Douglas Lima just turned 30 years old on January 5th. Tonight is 36th professional fight. Fight scheduled for 5-minute rounds.
You know, the one thing that Rory told us, Mike, was that he had a clarity about fighting now and what he was supposed to do. And that is exactly what he's demonstrating right now in this round. He's not, he's not dominating this round. That's not what's occurring. But he is controlling the fight, where it's at, and how it is going to play out.
Rory said of his longtime head coach, David Leah, we have a great relationship. He started me. He knows me better than anybody. He also said that Coach Leah is one of the most open-minded and dynamic coaches in the game.
Well, like we talked about, he has to be when he's letting his best student leave him to go somewhere else because he knows that's what's best for him.
He also gave Karasahabi a stake.
Nice takedown by Rory. What he did is he waited on that. Gave a push, got a response from Douglas and went with it. That's why he got him to the ground.
Both fighters black belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Lima earned his in 2014 from Juan Canero. Jucal.
If you're Douglas Lima in this position, you notice again, Rory bringing that head right over the top of his head. If you're Douglas Lima in this position, you're either going and looking for that submission, saying, okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to go for a reversal, or I'm going to get out of here and get an escape, but you cannot stay here with a closed guard. That closed guard right now is totally defensive. There's no submission he can get from this position. With Rory postured the way he is, that's not going to happen. He's got to open those legs to start to become an offensive fighter.
Rory has yet to be submitted in his professional career. Couple of KOs, Lawler, Condit, 2 by decision.
Big right hand by Rory right there. That's what's going to wear your opponent down. Systematically just diminishing their abilities.
Those are the 4 losses, the setbacks, if you will, for Macdonald. Closed guard utilized by the champion.
Nice hammer fist coming up, but those are the things that they're never going to end the fight. It can annoy his opponent. It can get Rory to think about having to stop it. But Lima right now needs to start opening up his guard and attacking Rory and making Rory be the defensive fighter.
Douglas Lima said he worked diligently on his wrestling and jiu-jitsu because he knew those challenges would be presented in the form of Rory Macdonald.
Rory brings so many elements to the game, and it's his ability to transition from one to the other that makes him so difficult to work against.
20 seconds. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Stop here. Stop.
Jason Herzog stands him up. Round 1 is in the books.
Buddy, over here. Just gotta keep working on your arm.
Exatamente. Vamos voltar. Deixa juntar o braço.
Let's go back to
Exatamente,
McDonald.
entendeu?
Then the jabs are starting to land. When you're moving up, you got reach on the jab. Use that jab more. Right? Feed all this up off that jab. Right? Jab, jab, jab over the top, and when you get down into those the head pressure, get the cage, drop that single. It's there for you. Right?
Yeah, he's strong.
I know he's strong, but he's gonna get less strong. Okay. Right? Press.
With that jab, keep the fakes going, lots of fakes going. Just biting on your fakes. Stay with those fakes, everything
Big
goes.
time bite.
Stay with those fakes, baby. Stay with those fakes, that works.
Nope, not good.
Grab your stuff, let's go.
Douglas Lima, Rory Macdonald.
Second round, buddy, you ready? Buddy, you ready?
Tonight,
Fight.
the 8th time the Phenom has been scheduled for a 5-round fight. This is the 4th 5-round fight of Rory Macdonald's career. Round 1, what'd you score?
There's no doubt that's a round for Rory Macdonald. 10-9 is the score, but what we need to see is right now Lima's not fighting his fight. Rory's the one controlling this fight. Lima's landing a very good low kick. That low kick to the shin it's deadly because it deadens your leg. And he needs to continue to do that against Rory to slow him down.
Excited to be here, back at the Fabulous Forum for the first time, Bellator MMA on Paramount Network. And what a year we have in store for you. Rampage and Chael, the first 2 of the Great 8 to fight in the heavyweight tournament, the heavyweight Grand Prix. That's coming up after this title fight. Rory catches the leg, John. But Lima was teeing up.
Yeah, both fighters are throwing a lot of feints, and then when he threw that kick, Rory catches, but Rory took a lot of shots holding onto that leg. That's not smart fighting by him. Either drive him into the fence and go for that takedown, or let go of it and come with a counter.
We've talked about a lot of fighters, Big John, over the years that have power. Oh man, he has power. But no one seems to get the praise of Douglas Lima when they say, John, they have power. No. He's got ultra power.
He does. you could hear even when Rory was in his corner, he looked at his coach and goes, he's really strong. He is. He's a strong, big fighter, and he's good. This right here is the type of fight, why you're seeing Rory fight the way he is, clinching up. It's because he wants to slow Douglas down. He doesn't want to get hit by that power.
Lima said, I'm here to finish fights. Bad intentions.
When you hit like Douglas Lima, you can lose every round. And one shot is going to put that win in your category. People need to remember, this is a long fight, 25 minutes. You don't need to win it in the first round. You can win it all the way with the 25 minutes into the last round.
You mean like that dude, Nintendo?
Yeah, he used to do that quite a bit.
Double underhooks for Macdonald.
Right now, the referee is not separating because Rory Macdonald has an advantage. He's got double underhooks. That's an advantageous position. He's just going to see what he's going to do with it. Doesn't do anything with it, just doing the knees, and he separates them apart.
Just past the midway point of round number 2 of our title fight. Showing the jab again and again. Macdonald in the blue, sorry, John, and Lima in the red.
That's a good jab that Rory's throwing out there. You can see that it's stopping what Douglas is doing. So even when it's not hitting him, it's causing Douglas a problem.
TriStar is team jab.
Yeah, well, I think they got that from George St. Pierre.
Yeah, that guy.
He used that thing just a little bit.
GSP, a big fan as well as teammate of Rory Macdonald. Really took him under his wing. Welcomed him into Montreal. Training with that guy every day is going to make you better. Tonight, 2 main events. Next week, we move to Temecula, where Riverside's own Lorenz Larkin and the Menifee Maniac, Fernando Gonzalez, go toe-to-toe. Plus, Kendall Despite Grove takes on AJ Matthews. It's Bellator MMA next Friday at 9, live on Paramount Network.
Yeah, right now we got a low blow. We got a kick that ended up, because the fighter moved, it ends up hitting to the groin area. It wasn't intentional. He's coming in, and that changes the distance as Rory's bringing up a ball kick to the midsection. It's not intentional at all, but it still hits Douglas in a bad spot, and Douglas now has up to 5 minutes to recover from it.
One thing, partner, and you said it twice, you mean the ball of their foot.
Yeah.
When you say that kick.
That was a ball kick.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Ball of their foot.
The other one. Just wanted to clarify that, partner. I knew what you're saying. The world might have been confused. Battle continues.
This is a technique right here that Rory uses a lot. He'll get that underhook with his right side. He'll hook the leg, drawing the fighter down. He's very good with it, very technical with it. Doesn't look like he's doing a lot, but he is. He's putting a lot of pressure on Douglas and making Douglas work.
Faraz Sahabi did say David Leah bought a mistake when he welcomed young Rory Macdonald into TriStar. And much like we were talking about the nail and the hammer earlier, John, Faraz said he came back the next day, and the next day, and the next day, proved to all of us he's a soldier.
Douglas started to go for Uchimata there, and he missed it. Rory gets his back, Rory goes for the big punch, and you see he gets right back to that same position. But good job of changing him, putting Lima's back to the fence. He's got double underhooks again, he's got an advantage. Let's see what he does with it.
Final seconds of round 2. The Bellator Welterweight World Championship is on the line.
Careful with your low blows, okay?
You feeling a break, Rory?
You're right on track.
Fucking right.
You're having a fucking blast tonight, right? You're having a fucking blast in here.
Grab this. You feeling a break? He's breaking. I can see it now. That's it. As soon as you add the wrestling back in, you've got him stunned, right? Let's get that wrestling. You came around to the back, beautiful. You got behind him, you hit him with the cleanest elbows. Fight exactly like the way you've been fighting in camp. Now, that second round was the closest that you were to your camp, right? You're mixing it up. He was getting too comfortable standing there throwing that jab, right? Fucking right. He wasn't even holding. So for those weak overhooks, sorry, I just want you to get behind him, okay? Yeah, just when it starts to weaken up, you'll feel it, right? You'll feel it.
Still to come, one of the sport's most charismatic figures, one of the sport's most feared fighters, Quentin Rampage Jackson takes on the one, the only Chael's son in first fight of our heavyweight Grand Prix. Round 3.
That's the best technique that Douglas Lima has used today, is that low kick to that shin. You can even see, take a look at Rory's shin area, it's starting to swell up.
Benson Henderson, one of the fighters to utilize that. He just missed with that uppercut.
Yep, just missed. Strong hips going down, stops the takedown, but cannot get out of the clinch.
Who took round 2?
No doubt, Rory Macdonald took round 2. He's up 2 rounds to nothing right now on the champ. Douglas Lima needs to start to push his game and start to dominate what is happening in this cage. Right here, he's got the good underhook. It's only on one side, but he can start to get busy, even if it's that, hey, I'm going to start hitting, trying to elbow in tight. He cannot let Rory start to change positions on him. Rory's the one that is dictating the pace and place of this fight.
2-time Bellator welterweight world champion Douglas Lima in the red gloves. Rory Macdonald's last title fight was back in the UFC against ruthless Robbie Lawler, one of the greatest back and forth battles in MMA history.
Well, in that fight right there, Rory showed just how tough he is.
Yeah.
But that might have been part of the problem with it, is he wanted to show Robbie, I'm never going to back down from you.
Said I wasn't ready in a lot of ways. I've become a more positive person, better mindset. Said he used to put a lot of pressure on himself. Tonight he just wants to flow and leave with the goal. They break.
Big elbow off of it, missed with it. Here's the double attempt. Again, Lima's got great hips. He's getting back, but he's going to get that takedown.
Nicely. Good wrestling showcased by Rory Macdonald. Close guard.
Lima going back to that close guard because he doesn't want Rory to pass, but he's going to have to start to open this up, because if he sits in this position in guard, he's going to end up losing this round.
And as John mentioned, he very likely is down 2 rounds to love thus far. Midway point of our championship fight. Mr. Wonderful. He's liking it, likes the action. This was the fight, John, everybody was talking about the minute that Rory Macdonald signed with Bellator.
Yeah, everyone looked at, Rory's the guy coming from, another organization. He is the young fighter still. He's not an old guy. He's young, and his best days are actually ahead of him. And they're looking, saying, man, I can't wait to see Douglas Lima against Rory Macdonald. Rory came in, one fight against Paul Daly. He looked phenomenal. Look where he's at.
The other organization, I'm going to go Woody Hayes on you. I'm going to say that school up north.
Yeah, that school up north.
They'll stand him up again. This is good for the Phenom. So far, Lima on his back, his guard, John, has been very good. He hasn't taken a lot of punishment at all. There's that kick again.
It's landing and it's doing damage. You can take a look at that left leg of Rory Macdonald. It is damaged, and it will start to make him not be able to move as fluidly.
And that left leg, ultra important when you're stepping into that lead jab.
Well, just this little subtle thing you're seeing right now. Look at who's going forward. Look at who's going back. Here's that change. This is what Douglas Lima needs to do.
For that kick again from the champion. There it is.
It's fast, it's strong, it hits with power. I'm glad I'm not Rory Macdonald right now getting hit in the leg like that.
You got to be careful if you're Rory Macdonald of a question mark kick. Lima aiming low, and he comes over the top. Oh my.
Took his leg out. You can see there's damage. This is what happens. This is how you, doesn't matter if you win that first round, that second round. I just need to get all the elements that I need to win this fight on this opponent.
Systematically break down your opponent.
That's exactly what he's doing. A lot of times you look at a fight and you go, well, you're losing this, you're losing this. And it's like, they'll look at you and go, I know, there's a lot of time left in this fight.
Hard elbow for the champion.
Take a look at Rory Macdonald's nose. That nose might be broken again.
That was the nose that was exploded in the fight against Lawler. You're watching Bellator MMA from Inglewood, California.
Hey, come in here. Come in here. Doctor, hey, come on. He's got a massive hematoma on that. Hold on. We need to get him, make sure he gets seen first. A massive hematoma on the outside of his leg. I'm the right there. Can you do that? Can you go stop off? Let's do it, baby. We're gonna fucking win this round.
Did you wrestle?
Hey, can you stand up? Can you put your weight on that? How does that hurt? It hurt? Feels good? Does it hurt?
You'll let him get off first. You let him get off first now, right? You got this, Roy. This is for you. Right? You need to win one more round. You got this. All right?
Wrestling, promise me, it's all wrestling. You're too smart. You're too smart. You're gonna stand southpaw. You're gonna control the distance. You're gonna put him against the fence, and you're gonna beat him easy. Let's go.
Wrestle fuck this guy. Push him, pressure him, and get off first.
Big John, much like the Koreshkov fight, vicious leg kicks from the Phenom.
And this is what he's doing to start to systematically break Rory down. Rory was hurt. Look at, I'm not saying that he can't continue to fight, but trust me, that leg is not going with the rest of this fight.
Going to be tough to plant, and he immediately looks for the takedown.
And you know why. And ends up underneath. Oh, now we got Matt. Well, three-quarter guard, but Douglas Lima started to put it on him, and there's a reason why. Those leg kicks.
Championship rounds. Mike Goldberg, Big John McCarthy.
This is
full mount for the champ.
This is a bad place for Rory McDonald to be. Full mount with Douglas Lima, a black belt jiu-jitsu on top of you, and a lot of time.
Douglas Lima's last submission win was 2,626 days ago. You can see from this angle the damage on the shin, the left shin of Rory McDonald. Look at that. Oh, my.
That's what I was talking about. This is what people don't realize. Those are the things that start to make it to where you can't stand, you can't push off. You lose the power that you have. Right now, Douglas Lima, although I'm not saying he's not even trying to go for submissions, he's just going to systematically wear Rory down. But it might be a good thing because at least Rory's not getting hit on that leg.
For now. Lima last earned a submission, John, in November of 2010. 7 years plus ago, he did it with a triangle armbar.
He fell in love with the knockout, so he's gone to that. But right now, in this position, he's riding very high on Rory. Rory's got to move his hips. He's got to start. There he goes. Gets him back to half guard. Nice job of putting himself into a better position by Rory McDonald.
Rory's never been submitted. Third straight 5-round fight for Lima. 4 of his last 5 scheduled for 25 minutes. The momentum just went boom to the other direction, to the side of the Brazilian.
Didn't it though?
Yeah. And it was that one kick that all of a sudden swept Rory McDonald. You knew, Johnny, you talked about it. Damage, damage, damage. And then it was, wow, extreme damage.
Yep. And this is why we tell people, this is why we fight the fight. Yeah. You can sit there and give all the things about, well, I think this or I think that. It doesn't mean anything. Let's put him in the cage and let's find out. Rory McDonald back to a full guard now, closed guard. I don't know if Jason Herzog did him any favors here.
I was going to say the same thing. Look at this. Now, see how Rory's kind of in the southpaw stance? He tried to walk Lima down there, Big John. But when he looked for the takedown at the beginning of the round, he did walk his way into a southpaw stance.
Look at the hematoma on his left shin. Trust me, that thing is badly injured. And right here, this is where Rory wants to be right now. That's going to keep Douglas from being able to hit him with a kick, do anything that's going to affect that leg. The only place that Rory wants to be right now is exactly where he's at.
John, you expect him when they're on the feet to just do more of the same, more and more on that damaged leg.
Well, Douglas is going to see it. And he's going to target it. Right. You've got to. There you go.
Nicely timed by Rory, though.
Very nicely timed, but he did take that shot on the leg, and he needs to get busy to try to get this round back.
This is a place that Macdonald can be effective, even with the back leg. Trying to posture up a bit.
He is bringing his head over the top. That's good. That's really good, smart ground and pound fighting by Rory Macdonald. Douglas Lima needs to stop allowing him to get wrist control, start to open his guard, feet on the hips. That's Rory back. That's going to start keeping Douglas safer from the attack that Rory's trying to bring.
36th pro fight for Lima. He has only been stopped twice in his professional career. Never been stopped inside the Bellator cage. Decision against Ben Askren years ago and in the first Andre Koreshkov fight.
Douglas is doing a really good job of tying up Rory's arms, keeping him close, using his legs to off-balance him at times, so he has to adjust with his body pressure.
Final seconds of the first of our 2 championship rounds. The welterweight belt remains on the line.
Dad, come on, baby.
5 minutes, baby. You just took him down southpaw and you held him there. I want that again. Breathe. You need a drink? Roy, you have 5 minutes, right? This is last round, bro.
You're doing this for my last round.
Last round.
You're standing stop bar. You're being patient on the shot. The last one, you shot it too quick. I want you to clinch with Rory. He's got nothing in the clinch. Nothing. You're the fucking master of the clinch.
Roy, keep going southpaw like you've been doing. Catch that kick and fucking take him down. Don't be afraid to throw some fucking hands, bro. When you throw, they're landing. Don't let him throw first, okay?
You're winning 3-1 by my count. It's close though, Rory.
That round was close. We need this. 5 minutes, Roy. 5 minutes. Brother, you can do this. 5 minutes. Take this belt home, Rory.
Please put your hands together as we go down.
Look at your leg. Look at your leg. Look at it.
That is nasty. Not quite Mark Hominick nasty, but pretty darn close.
That is a huge hematoma on that shin. You can see him putting ice on it to try to cool it down. It's not going to work. It's not going to change anything for Rory now. He's just got to gut it through in this last round.
Mutual respect. They touch gloves. 5 minutes remain. Both Firas Zahabi and David Leah said, do not let him go first.
I look at it right now. I've got this fight even. I think Douglas Lima's got 2 rounds and Rory Macdonald's got 2 rounds. Whoever wins this round is going to walk out with that title.
Nicely done.
It is, and it's so subtle in what Rory does to get a guy down, but it's so effective. Douglas Lima right now does not want to start getting into this closed guard position. He's got to get himself off of the ground and start to attack where he's injured Rory so he can make Rory have to defend and have problems.
I agree with Wyatt Beck 924. He is an absolute warrior. Years ago in Vancouver, Carlos Condit. Rory Macdonald was winning that fight, big time. Carlos turned it on with just in the final seconds of the 3rd and final round. The battles with Robbie Lawler, Stephen Thompson. Like his coaches said, John, this dude is something special. Firas Zahabi said he's got a work ethic unlike anything he's ever seen before.
Well, and this is the whole point. A lot of people came out and said, I think Rory Macdonald is done. He's a changed fighter because of what happened with Robbie Lawler and then Stephen Thompson. No, not at all. You can see Rory Macdonald is still a dynamic fighter, a warrior, and a much smarter fighter now today than he was.
He was done. He was done fighting that way. Now he's fighting this way.
There you go. This is good for Rory. Rory needs to keep his hips exactly where they're at, keep his head high, right up with Douglas Lima's, start to posture as much as he can and land big shots, which is going to make the referee keep him on the ground.
Rory has gone the 5-round distance once. That was in the loss to Stephen Thompson. Of course, the Lawler fight, the second Lawler fight, went into the 5th round, went 1 minute deep.
Big elbow. That was a beautiful right elbow by Corey. Look at Rory. Those elbows are opening up. Doug cannot stay in this position. He's trying to get feet on the hips, try to push him back, and it's not working for him.
Midway point of the 5th and final round. The champion has gone 25 minutes 3 times. Most recently in his title defense against Lorenz Larkin.
Rory's doing a good job utilizing wrist control, then to roll that elbow over to try to hit Doug with. Just basic elemental fighting, but he's doing it so well, and he's so strong in his positioning, it's hard to stop what he wants to do.
Big John, if it is indeed 2-2, coming into the last 5 minutes, Rory Macdonald may be very close to leaving with Bellator gold.
He might be. Look at this, is his second chance at winning the world title, and right now, with the 135 left in this round, Rory Macdonald is winning this round.
Rory's staying busy enough to keep this fight right here on the ground.
And what this is doing for Rory, he's got a nose that I think is broken. He's got a shin that is absolutely morphed to something it's not supposed to. And when you look at what he's doing, this is what's keeping him safe from those things being injured further, which could put him out of the fight. Right now, you're seeing Douglas Lima with a body triangle on Rory. That's the worst thing he could do. He does not want to keep Rory on him. He's got to get Rory off of him.
Final minute. And so far, John, has been the battle that we anticipated and we thank both fighters for.
This is what happens when you put 2 elite fighters together. It's so hard to get something over on the other guy, and they just tend to slowly, systematically just beat the snot out of each other.
Final 30 seconds. The Canadian is looking to pass a bit. The final 15 seconds, they stand momentarily. 10 seconds on the clock.
Rory giving that bit of a stand-up, coming in, jumping in with a punch. It was an outstanding round by Rory Macdonald.
They go the distance. Douglas Lima and Rory Macdonald.
Got a lot of work to do.
First ever title fight on Paramount Network. Let's take a look at the 25 minutes of battle, tonight's fight replay. Brought to you by Black Card Premium Spiced Rum. The bold, 93 proof rum that's edgy to the core.
Right here you're seeing that kick. That's what you want to do with Rory, but you don't want to take shots. Rory going for the takedown. Big hips movement by Douglas, but Rory keeps driving through, circling the... When he circles, it causes Douglas the inability to catch up to what he's doing. Big elbows by Rory right there. This is the 5th round, and you're looking at 2 guys that are exhausted. You can't ask for anything more.
Who will leave with the belt? Our official decision is coming up next.
you too. Yeah. People kind of, it's very fast, it's very hard. Yeah. How's your hand?
Lima Macdonald go the distance with the belt on the line. With the official decision, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in this world title fight, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Brian Miner, scores the fight 48-47. Judge Michael Bell scores it 49-45. And Judge Marcos Rosales sees the fight 49-46. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator welterweight world champion, Rory, the Red King Macdonald.
Congratulations, Kelowna's finest, David Leah. He's been there since he was 14 years old. Big John with our new champion.
Come here, champ. Just hold on to him. I am here with the new Bellator welterweight champion, Rory Macdonald. Rory, that was a fantastic, hard battle. Tell me how strong and how good of a fighter is Douglas Lima?
He's the best fighter I've ever fought. Easy. I came in at my very best in my entire career. I've never felt so good. This guy gave me challenges everywhere. And it was an honor to compete with him, and I definitely feel like the best in the world after fighting with that guy.
He kicked you with low kicks that as I was watching, I go, those are damaging, those are gonna hurt, they're gonna start to add up. How bad is your leg?
Well, I think I have a person growing inside me down there. The looks of it. I can't really walk on it, but whatever, I got through it.
It's gonna be sore for a while. I wanna tell you, this is your second chance at being a world champion. You have now conquered that goal. Congratulations, the new Bellator welterweight champion, Rory Red King Macdonald.